Azula versus Plea, two firebenders who are more than just powerful, they're absolutely lethal.
Do you really want to fight me?
These two don't just come in with firepower, they bring precision, strategy, and pure chaos. So who's got the edge to claim victory? Who will be the last one standing? Let's find out. This is Mind Bursters. If you love epic rankings and intense showdowns, then consider subscribing. It not only helps the channel grow, but ensures you never miss out on the action coming your way. Azula's no ordinary firebender. She's an outright prodigy, known for mastering techniques that most benders spend their entire lives trying to perfect. She was so good, her father, Fire Lord Ozai, tasked her with capturing Zuko, Iroh, and the Avatar.
You may have mixed feelings about attacking members of the royal family. I understand. But I assure you, if you hesitate, I will not hesitate to bring you down.
Not only was she an elite menace, but she was also one of the most skilled tacticians in the series. Her strategies, like taking down Ba Sing Se and stopping the Eclipse invasion when her army couldn't fire bend, highlight her sharp mind and ruthless nature. For someone who isn't an airbender, Azula's agility was top tier, and she used it to great effect in battle. Aang and Toph once tried to trap her with earthbending, but Azula quickly escaped, delaying Team Avatar during the eclipse.
I can't pin her down! She's too quick!
Azula's firebending was extremely offensive, and her fire blasts were strong enough to shatter Aang's earth walls. She easily overpowered Zuko in close-range combat without breaking a sweat. Her unique blue fire was powerful enough to blast through stone walls, creating explosions so big they rivaled the size of Fire Nation warships. Even when facing Zuko's counterattacks, she held her own, showing how relentless she was. In their first encounter, Azula unleashed a massive wave of fire, unaware she was fighting the Avatar.
The Avatar. My lucky day.
Her firebending attacks were powerful enough to surprise and overwhelm Aang, Zuko, and the rest of Team Avatar. Azula isn't just great at attacking, she's also got a strong defense when she needs it. She's capable of blocking sneak attacks like Zuko's in their three-way fight with Aang. One of her most impressive moments was when she quickly vaporized Katara's giant water blast in the Crystal Catacombs. Azula defended against attacks from multiple opponents, including Aang, Katara, Toph, and Zuko, with resulting explosions that leveled nearby buildings. Like any high-level bender, she had a wide arsenal of moves. Her fire jets allowed her to propel herself mid-air and break Aang's crystal armor in the catacombs. She even used firebending to cut down a building with precision and created a pinwheel of flames that Aang couldn't escape from without Bumi's help. Her lightning bending, one of the rarest and deadliest firebending skills, was perfected by the start of Book 2 and helped her take down Aang when he tried to enter the Avatar state. Later, she destroyed Toph's Earth Wall, a feat against the greatest earthbender in the world. By the time Sozin's comet arrived, Azula was on the edge of insanity, but she still managed to give a solid fight against an improved Zuko. When it comes to raw firepower, Plea is in a league of her own. With her combustion bending, she's practically a walking weapon of mass destruction, capable of taking out squads, airships, and buildings with just a thought.
Stay out of her line of sight!
Her bending style is all about devastating, far-reaching attacks, and she isn't afraid to use her power to its fullest potential. Though we haven't seen a ton of her regular firebending, it's clear she's a master in her own right. Even Fire Lord Zuko, who's seen Azula, Iroh, and Ozai, has praised her abilities.
She's a powerful firebender who can create explosions with her mind.
In one impressive moment, she redirects a dragon's fiery blast before dispersing it, despite spending years in icy imprisonment. She's shown she can handle all kinds of firebending challenges. Plea isn't just about brute force either. Her range is incredible. She can take down targets from a distance and keep opponents from ever getting close. Her combustion attacks easily destroyed Republic City police cars and sent them flying. This is a serious feat given how durable those cars are. In this scene, she single-handedly one-shotted a dragon. Take note of how big that explosion was. And remember, Druk is both large and fast. Plea has showed off explosions that dwarf dwarf buildings and leave massive craters in their wake. Her attacks aren't just powerful, they're fast, precise, and hard to dodge, even from a distance. Plea can curve her shots, take aim at moving targets, and set off explosions mid-air. She's able to fire rapidly, giving her a lethal advantage. In fact, when she sets her sights on a target, it usually doesn't end well for them. Unlike Combustion Man, Plea combines her bending with impressive agility, awareness, and quick reflexes, putting serious pressure on metal benders like Lin and Suyin Beifong in close-range combat. So, who wins? Well, let's go over a few things to see who comes out on top.
I'm feeling warmer already.
Azula is a fire-bending prodigy. Her blue flames are hotter, faster, and stronger than typical fire, meaning Plea would have to face a fire intensity she's rarely encountered. And Azula's lightning is her secret weapon, unpredictable and lethal in a single hit, an ability that only the most skilled can handle. Plea's combustion blasts are undeniably powerful and can destroy most obstacles with ease. But in a close duel, she's slower. She needs time to focus before unleashing a blast, leaving her open to interruption. Azula, known for spotting weaknesses, would catch this right away and wouldn't hesitate to use it against her. Imagine Azula firing bursts to create smoke and block Plea's line of sight, something she likely hasn't had to counter.
Afraid of fire, I see. That's good. You should be.
Azula's speed is honestly in a league of its own. She's fast, both physically and in terms of her reaction time. It's almost like every move she makes is calculated down to a fraction of a second, which is exactly what makes her such a dangerous opponent. Now, Plea is a whole different story. She's got a sniper-like precision with her combustion bending, and there's a raw power to it that's hard to match. But she doesn't have the same agility as Azula. Plea's style is more focused on taking opponents out with one lethal blast from a distance, which relies on getting her aim and timing right. If she has a clear shot, it's deadly, but her actual movement speed just doesn't match Azula's quick reflexes. And let's talk about Azula's lightning.
I'll show you lightning!
Yes, it does take her a little longer to charge it up compared to her usual fire attacks. She can't just snap her fingers and release lightning at will. But here's the thing, Azula is so fast with everything else that she creates openings to actually give herself the time she needs. She's always analyzing her opponent, anticipating their next move, and maneuvering around them until she finds the right moment. So while Plea's combustion blasts are a force to be reckoned with, they're still not enough to handle Azula's overall speed. Azula's got that perfect balance of agility and precision, and when it comes down to who can outmaneuver the other, she's the one who's quicker on her feet, plain and simple. Plea's fighting style is all offense, with no real defense to fall back on. Her power lies in keeping distance and hitting her target precisely, which makes her vulnerable if an opponent gets too close. As for Azula, she has no problem playing defensively when needed. She's agile, dodges easily, and can shield herself with a fire sphere. Her experience means she can read her opponent's next move and use her agility to evade without wasting energy. Against Plea, this would be a huge advantage. Instead of bracing for impact, Azula would stay on the move, forcing Plea to chase her down. Plea might have the upper hand in raw firepower, no pun intended, but frankly she never seemed that bright. She tends to stay put and far too reliant on her combustion move. As long as Azula has some cover, she could easily outsmart and outmaneuver until she lands a lightning bolt, maybe even right to the forehead. Knowing her style,
Plea!
when it comes to skill and mastery, Azula is way ahead. I mean, Blue Fire is legendary for a reason. Azula's just too skilled to be taken down by a one-trick pony, even one as explosive as Plea. And in this case, that's exactly why Azula would win. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more epic breakdowns. This is Mind Bursters. Until next time, stay geeky.
Yes! We've defeated you for all time! You will never rise from the ashes of your shame and humiliation! That was fun.